Knicks Nation, 112 to 109 in Philadelphia, and you would have thought it was a home game the way the Knicks fans took over that building again. This was a grinded out road win. Karl Anthony Towns had to sit early in the third with foul trouble, but Mitchell Robinson stepped in and completely shifted the defensive tone. Embiid did not get comfortable. The paint got tightened up, and Philly felt it. Pause. Down the stretch, Landry Shamet gave us timely scoring when the offense needed a steady hand, and Jalen Brunson do what leaders do and control the moment. But let's not ignore this. Missed free throws in this game made it way closer than it needed to be. The Knicks had a chance to put this away, but instead they left the door open longer than anyone wanted. So tonight we're breaking down a tough road win in a not so hostile building. Mitchell's defensive impact, how the Knicks survived Towns' foul trouble, and Shamet's fourth quarter minutes, and why the free throws nearly made this a late game scare. This is Knicks and Ish. Let's go. Fraz is in the building, so Fraz know what he has to do.
Hit the intro.
Boom shakalaka! The Knicks are great. These kids and our party just lit. That's the parlay lord. You know we lick Knickerbocker have a talk to. Let's go! Drip, 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 drip. It's a Knicks. Drip, 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 drip. We lit.
Yeah. Live and direct once again on your YouTube screen. It is your favorite Knicks and Ish panel. I'm back, so y'all already know the vibe. I am the one and only Parlay Lord, aka Fraz Taz, here in the building with the Knicks and Ish panel. Never limited to, but always including the First Lady of Knicks and Ish. Mrs. Knicks is in the building. Join me and giving a good salute to my good brother Knickerbocker Ab. And, I need to hear them three words real quick. It's three words I need to hear. Let me hear them.
Spark plug.
That's exactly the three words I need to hear because our beloved host, the one and only Tea Time, is here in the building. Got Kevin to pull up shortly. Y'all know what it is. Press like for your favorite panel. Sharing as always, Karen. If you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you turn that bell to all so you get all notifications when Knicks and Ish goes live. And who's in the building real quick? Housekeeping rules. Somebody put Darlene up on the screen. Darlene in the building. You already know, sis. Day one. Michael Brown. We see you out there in the YouTube streets. Shout out my guy, Matty Ice. He always on the pull up. He always doing his thing, pulling up here. You know what I mean? Always good to see y'all pulling up, coming to watch Knicks and Ish. You know what I mean? So let me set the stage, and then I'm going to let the panel take it away real quick like we usually do. The New York Knicks go into Philadelphia and come away with a 112-109 victory that almost wasn't a victory. But I'm not going to get into too many details. I'm going to let the panel take it away.
Who wants to go first?
So, well, before we do that, make sure y'all blessing that super chat, you know what I mean? So we could talk about whatever y'all want to talk about, you know what I mean? Every little bit counts, you feel me? So bless the super chat. Once we see that, we stop what we doing, talk about what you trying to talk about. But yeah, today was a good day. Anytime you beat Philly, especially when Embiid's on the court, I fucking hate that guy's face. I hate his face. So anytime we get to beat Joel Embiid, it makes my day. The game should have been, won a little bit more handedly than it was. But a W is a W. Shout out to my guy Jimmy J1 in the building. I see you, good brother. Yeah, we should definitely pack these guys up way sooner. Free throws was an issue, but it was a lot of, I won't say unsung heroes because they're very much praises will be sung in a few minutes, but Mitch stepped up big. Shaman stepped up big. I'm not gonna get too long winded. I'm gonna let the panel do what they do. But yeah, it's a good day. That's how I wanna start it. I take it. Pause. That's crazy. Think about it. Talk to me, man.
That's two. Just so we're clear, because Uncle Paulie's gonna be pulling up and he's gonna be handing them technicals and flavors. You know how he do. So I'm just saying. To set the stage, we went into Philadelphia. Shout out to my boy Craig Tucker and In My Lifetime Tees. They had a whole bus of people into Philadelphia, into whatever they call it now. What is it? The Xfinity One Mobile Arena now. It's still the same place. But yeah, there they go.
It's called MSGPA.
Basically.
And you know what? I always wonder, because I talked to a couple of people, diehard Knicks fans that live around the country, and every one of their cities always want to come at me and say, "Yo, we the fifth borough or the sixth borough," and I'm like, "Bro, you the sixth borough." ATL got a claim to it. Charlotte got a claim to it. Philly got a claim to it. Boston got a claim to it. LA, Vegas. I mean, I hear that a lot in every places. But shout out to Craig and In My Lifetime Tees. He's got a lot of some fire shit over there. At the same time, InMyLifetimeTees.com. But to set the stage, yeah, we do have a lot of unsung heroes. But without a doubt, you gotta give a salute to Mitch Robb tonight for the second straight night. He's showing you that the Knicks may want to, start engaging him on some kind of a contract extension. He is a free agent at the end of the season. He is the league's leading offensive rebounder in all the NBA. And the one thing that we were hoping for when Mike Brown took over as head coach, which you can say what you want to say, and we've been saying shit about him for the last couple of weeks, was one thing that I kept on hearing. He was going to make Mitchell Robinson more of of a focal point, or at least more involved in the offense. And at least in the last 2, maybe 3 games, you've been seeing that. Mitchell Robinson setting, the straightaway pick, doing the pick and roll, working with JB. And I must have been seeing shit. He actually took it to the rim and made a play on his own. I mean, that's not something I'm used to seeing from Mitchell Robinson, because that's not usually his forte. What is his game?
What you mean seeing things? You want to see it again? Is that what you're saying? You want to see it again?
Bona did a good job on that screen.
Bona held stiff and yet got called for it. Robinson slams it down.
Who is that? Who is that? Because I don't know who that is. I mean, am I seeing things? I mean, but it was great to see him, finally contributing in a much more impactful way, other than what he normally does, which is the perimeter, guarding the rim and rebounding. And, he's a stellar defender and a great body to have, in the paint. But, honestly, I'm just glad that that Mitchell Robinson is making a point to show people, that he wasn't just that, off-season offensive juggernaut that, we see in them videos. He's actually starting to, apply some of that in game. But T, you hit it. You mentioned it. Them free throws at the end. I think Mrs. Knicks mentioned it in our group chat. I want to see a line of all the Knicks working on their free throws, because when Josh Hart missed his and then the captain missed it, I mean, how many times? See, so Philadelphia has that thing where if the opposing team misses 2 straight free throws, that they get free chicken. They gave him free chicken for the next 4 days. Chick-fil-A is going to run out of chicken in the city of Philadelphia. It's going to be nothing but chicken cheesesteaks and freaking chicken. Man, that was annoying the shit out of me. But
they gave chicken sandwiches today.
And you know what? With the amount of free throws that we missed, they must have given. They might as well give it to them for the rest of the week. You know, pause on that one. But straight up.
Okay.
Fraz.
First and foremost, shout out everybody in the building. Y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know the vibes. A lot to be taken away from this game. I call this a back on track game, like the last game against Brooklyn, because the Knicks are starting to get back on track defensively. We dominated the rebounds tonight, 53-37. Offensive rebounds, 19-6 in favor of the Knicks. Defensive rebounds, 34-31. I'm not gonna say the other number. I'm gonna wait and let Sis tell you that number. You know what I mean? But 5 blocks tonight. Hold on. This is something that we've been asking for from our bigs, Knicks fans. Some blocking. Like, yeah, Mitch had a few of those tonight. You know what I mean? Like, it's good to see that the Knicks ramped up their defense tonight and in these last 2 games. I'm happy to see that the Knicks are trying to right the ship, get back to playing Knicks basketball, as we like to collectively say over here at Knicks and Ish. What up, cuz? Shout out Jimmy J1. There was a couple of things I didn't like though. Specifically the fourth quarter. A lot of bad defense in the fourth quarter. We had like a 17, 18-point lead in the fourth quarter. And we let them come back to almost win the game. And we made a lot of defensive blunders, especially in the last 5 minutes of the game. We made a lot of defensive blunders, like too many fouls, like was aforementioned. Cat fouled out of this game. I think even Mitch had like 4 fouls toward the end, something like that. But one thing I will say, and shout out Landry Shamet, because he's back and he's bringing that energy that he brought earlier in the season. Now, as we discussed last time on Knicks and Ish, like I said, if the Knicks get back to playing like how they played in the beginning of the season, we gonna look how we should be looking, you know, because that ball was moving tonight, as you see from these highlights with Shem. The ball movement was there tonight, and of course, you know, Shem had to talk a little smack at the end after he pretty much iced the game, you know, but the ball movement was there. The only thing I didn't like, again, to add on to what I didn't like in the fourth quarter, don't settle for the 3-point shot. Shaman had the right idea going inside to the basket for the entire fourth quarter, but other guys were still settling for the 3-point shot. You gotta stop. The Knicks have to stop settling for the 3-point shot, and they have to understand the inside-outside game is how we play Knicks basketball.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got to do it. He's here, our beloved co-host. Mr. Kev Rodriguez, how you doing, brother? What's going on?
What up, y'all? My bad. I'm in the whip.
What up,
you know how that
again?
Right. What's good, y'all? Big game, huh? Big win for the Knicks. Pause.
Hey, Kev, I mean, since you already talk your shit, bro.
Listen, I was so caught up today, you know, doing my family shit that I missed I would say I caught from the last 3 minutes of the second quarter going forward, because I completely forgot the game was at 3 o'clock. So I was like, oh shit, the game. I started watching, and I noticed I think by the half we was like down 2, or something like that. And Embiid, it felt like he was gonna have one of those games because he had like 28 in the first half. So I'm like, shit, like this is not good, you know. So come halftime, guys come out. Me and Fraz is watching it on the FaceTime, and the Knicks came out. I think they allowed, if I'm not mistaken, they allowed 10 points in the third quarter, which to me was
13.
kind of
13.
impressive.
13.
13?
Yeah, 13.
The defense that they were playing in that quarter was pretty impressive to me. I felt like we was moving the ball. Everybody was playing together. I like how OG was finally cutting to the basket, getting hit for the jams. I was loving that shit because I felt like that is something that we were shying away from. People cutting, you know what I mean, moving instead of standing behind the 3-point line expecting the pass there. Cut to the basket. And I felt like that was something that was helping us out a lot in this game. But I'm gonna also say this: fuck the referees, okay? Fuck them all, okay? Because you motherfuckers, and excuse my language, I don't like to do this, but you know what? Fuck you motherfuckers. Because we
Man,
were
we
about
close
to
over
blow
here,
these
man.
niggas out the fucking box, and you let them come back with all the bullshit calls that y'all was calling. All right. And shout out to the fucking Knicks, all right, for battling and not letting the referees get to them and overcoming everything that they did to win this game. Shout out to the guys. Shout out to Josh Hart, all these guys, bro. Shout out to all of them because any other game through that 11-game skid, we would have got blown out and lost this game. So shout out to the guys.
To want to catch point real quick. He mentioned OG going to the basket. I think Macau needs to take a page from that book. 1 for 9. I think there was opportunities that he probably could have got to the cup a little bit more tonight. But he chucked up a lot of threes. Not saying that they were all bad looks. They weren't. It was a lot of good looks. I just think that, sometimes you could pass up a decent look to get a better look at the cup. Mrs. Nix, talk to me.
I'm happy. I'm happy we won because, after the Brooklyn game, I said, I want to see us do it against a team that has given us trouble or a legitimate team, not just the Nets. And today we saw that. We saw ball movement. We had 27 assists, which, as I say, wins games. I like the way that we controlled the pace for the majority of the game. That was important to me because, Philly is a fast team. Edgecombe and Maxey can run. And to be able to keep them under control was good. Like Kev said, Embiid had a crazy first half. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we just going to let this dude who can't jump beat us. This is what we doing. And they found a way in the second half to kind of control him. He actually had no points in the third quarter. So that was good to see that there was some adjustments. Overall, good game. Landry did his thing. OG was a beast. JB did JB things. My issue today was absolutely Cat. Absolutely Cat. Like, still doing dumb shit. And we need you. Like, the fourth may have been a little easier with him on the court. But we didn't have that opportunity. You cannot continue to make stupid fouls. Like, we need you on the court probably more than you think. And if you continue to do this, the chatter is going to continue. We getting real close to a deadline, and we need this chatter to stop. and you're not giving up, you're not helping it stop. You know what I mean? No, I mean I'm super happy. I mean, the offensive rebounds was outrageous. Like it was outrageous, and it just fed into what we did in December. We saw again today. Offensive rebounds, kick out, hit a three. We did it at least 4 or 5 times in today's game alone. And from back in December, we were the best team doing that. And it's good to see, you know, even Mitch was getting rebounds, Josh getting rebounds. When Mitch and Kat were out and we had Ariel in there for a minute, he got some offensive rebounds. Like, it's good to see. It's good to see us at least feel like we getting back into the winning way.
So, you know, just mentioned the offensive rebounds. You know, there was 11 offensive rebounds from Mitch alone. 6 for Mitch, 5 for Josh. Big on the offensive glass tonight. You know, Sis mentioned the adjustments on Embiid's 28 points in the first half. The adjustment was Mitchell Robinson.
For sure.
Plain and simple. That, if a cat got in foul trouble, adjustment was Mitchell Robinson. So, well, I kind of just answered the question, but chat, simple for the chat, simple yes or no will suffice. I need you to put it in the chat. Panel, give me a little bit more of a detailed answer. You don't got to go crazy, but I know the answer. Did Mitchell Robinson's defense change the game? Right? Chat, simple yes or no will suffice. Knickerbocker, go ahead.
I'll let him say it for me.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't want to say how? Nothing.
All right. I think I alluded to it a little bit in my opening comments, but the reality is that Mitchell Robinson, he's more than just a stationary big man. You know, like most big men have been around the NBA. Guys are usually, you know, they're in one position. I mean, Cat's a perfect example. You know, he's usually parked outside the three-point line, and then he tries to make a move. He's not really cutting. Mitch is realizing that if he's in constant movement, there's not many guys that are going to be able to catch up with him. And even if they do, they're not going to be able to do very much with him anyway. So, in essence, a mobile Mitchell Robinson, even though we have that minutes restriction in that load management thing that we're still going through, it's becoming an enormous impact to where it's affecting winning. It's affecting, you know, the opposition's whole offensive schematic. They have to work around that. And if you're not shooting it from the long range, especially, you know, Philly tonight, they didn't really hit the 3-ball very well tonight. They had to resort to try to attack the paint, and if Mitch was there, they had problems.
That's a fact. Fraz. You muted.
I'm going to answer, and then I'm going to give you a stat that backs up my answer, all right? The answer, simply put, is yes. Mitch Robinson helped change the tide of this game, not only with his defense, but here's the stat that really helped the Knicks win this game. Second chance points, 26-4 in favor of the New York Knicks. Why is that? 2 words, Mitchell Robinson. He was the catalyst between Mitch and Josh Hart rebounding tonight, giving us extra possessions. This is the key stat for tonight's game. 26-4, New York Knicks second chance points.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, y'all already know my answer, so I'm just going to show you. Oh, it didn't play, huh?
It kind of like on my end, it kind of froze. I don't know if they.
The corner for Brunson and Embiid. Great block by Robinson.
Yeah, that was tough. That was tough.
Mitch is just Mitch. You know what I mean? Like, and what's so crazy to me is that we're seeing this in very limited minutes. How effective he is in limited minutes. I mean, today he played 27, but that really was because Cat was in foul trouble. He would have probably been within the 19-20, like normal. But once he's unleashed, I feel bad for people. But we said this was going to happen. We said this yesterday, right? Didn't I say this? He knows how to defend Joel Embiid. He can defend Joel Embiid. They've seen each other so many times. And I feel like, just my opinion, whenever Mitch plays him, he's going for it because of what happened, because of Embiid injuring him. That's not forgotten. We don't forget these things. But nah, Mitch is important. Mitch is very important to this team.
Yeah.
Mitchell Robinson has that kind of thing where he has Embiid's number. He had Evan Mobley's number. He sometimes even has like Anthony Davis's number. Whenever, I mean, the few times that they played, and he can defend Joker.
Put Jared Allen on that list too.
You can add Wemby up there too.
Also, yeah, I was just about to say.
Yeah, but yeah, you know.
And you know what? The good thing about Mitch is not only can he defend the big man, but when they switch, he can defend the guards. And we've seen it today.
Yeah, that's a fact. Kev.
No, you know, let's not forget how we saw Mitchell Robinson take somebody to the cup and bang it. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I was so excited when I saw that. I was jumping for joy, boy. I'm like, Jesus Christ, why haven't we seen that all season, man? Like, we need to include Mitchell Robinson into this offense. Lobs. When I seen him take dude to the basket and straight bang, and I said, Jesus Christ. Mike Brown, if this doesn't show you something, I don't know, bro. Like, what else to tell you? This guy is a fucking offensive rebounding machine, defensive rebounding machine. Fuck Joel Embiid for trying to injure my man. He took that shit personal in this game. He took it really personal. So, I mean, you know, without Mitchell Robinson, we probably don't win this game defensively because of what he did. You know what I mean? So, you know, shout out to Mitchell Robinson and everything he does for this team. Because man, we'd be in trouble in this game, bro. Like defensively, he was making it all kind of not just for Joel Embiid, but even VJ Edgecombe, fucking Tyrese Maxey. If you notice though, it wasn't just Mitchell Robinson. My bad, y'all.
Are you good?
It wasn't just Mitchell Robinson, but like even when you seen Edgecombe or Tyrese Maxey, even OG will come to help. We really was closing the lane on these guys. These guys wasn't playing like the way they was at MSG. So, you know, shout out to Mitch and the guys. They did a great job today.
Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. He deserved the Timberland boot chain. You feel me? But yeah, you know, it definitely felt like a revenge game for Mitch. You feel me? I'm gonna tell you why. Obviously, we know that his defense impacted the game, but how is, like we mentioned several times throughout the panel, Joel Embiid had 28 points in the first half. Kev was right. It definitely felt like one of those games that he might go for 40, maybe even 50. And, you know, a blessing in disguise is actually Cat getting in foul trouble early in that third quarter, because Mitch came and he literally shut all that shit down. And what the most impressive thing was watching him, you know, process and download how to guard Embiid in real time. Early, he was getting caught on pump fakes. He was getting lifted off his feet. He was falling for little fakes and not contesting because he's getting put off balance by Joel Embiid's jabs and jab steps. and you watch him go in the halftime process, all that, and came out and dominated Joel Embiid in that third quarter. That was domination defensively. Like, he really took one of the best big men in the game out of the game in the third quarter. And it was infectious. It was infectious. You watched the whole lineup turn up tremendously in the third quarter. And I think that has a lot to do with Mitch being the anchor on the offense. I mean, on the defense. You know what I mean? Because I was watching this play defense. I'm like, yo, if we could do, if this is the kind of defense we could play moving forward, the league is screwed. There's nothing they're going to be able to do with us because everybody, all five people, including JB, with some good closeouts from JB tonight. And that's the most thing I want JB to do. If you got to close out on a shooter, the way you could be effective defensively is just close out well. Try not to leave your feet before they leave the feet. Make the jump shot uncomfortable. And do that without fouling. And I think he did that. We all did that. I think they struggled from three-point range, not because they had a bad shooting night. It's because of the kind of defense that we was playing. And I think that all stemmed from Mitchell Robinson anchoring the defense. So next question I got for you guys and the chat. When Cat got in foul trouble in the third quarter, seriously, did you guys think we was going to be able to survive that stretch with Cat on the bench and how well offensively Philly played in that first half? Let's start with Fraz this time.
So you said
with Cat in foul trouble in the third.
Okay.
Did you think the Knicks would be able to survive the stretch with him on the bench, especially considering how well Philly played on offense in the first half?
To be honest with you, I thought it was gonna be a real tough second half without Cat on the floor. Because if you watch the game, they were really like going after him like the whole game, and the refs wasn't helping either. But the Sixers were going after him. Like, Embiid was going after him. That's what eventually fouled him out, was Embiid going after him. But Cat has to be on the floor in critical situations for the New York Knicks. There's no excuses about it. He has to be on the floor, and he has to be able to produce. Like, this game, to me, Cat was like a non-factor this game. And, that attests to us having Mitch Robinson play how he played. But Cat has to be on the floor in these clutch situations because of the fact that the floor spacing kind of got crazy in the fourth quarter. It was like we weren't spacing enough in the fourth, and guys were just, guys weren't able to take their man off the dribble pause. But what's the second part of the question now? So I can answer that too.
It wasn't a two-parter. It was pretty much the same question. Is just like the caveat of knowing how well, Philly was playing in the first half. Including Joel Embiid going off for 28 in the first half. I forgot how much they scored in the first half. I think it was a lot of points. I know that much. Right?
Like 60, over 60.
Yeah, there's a lot of points for them to score. So, the question was just pretty much, were you concerned if we were going to be able to keep pace offensively? But I think you answered it, though.
Yeah.
Sis.
I mean, I was hella nervous. I'm not gonna hold you because I know how important Cat is to our offense, and I'm like, in that third quarter, he got that quick foul, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I'm literally like screaming, and it was crazy because we had the game on the TV, but I had it on my phone too, and for some reason, my phone was like a play and a half faster, so I'm watching on my phone while it's playing on the TV, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And Frank is like, what happened? It was weird, but I'm just like, bro, you have to play smarter. You have to play smarter because I can't continue to say how important you are to this team if you're continuously not on the court and we're winning? You know what I mean? Like, you're making it tough. But no, I was nervous. But lucky for us, we're extra talented. We have multiple guys that can step in, and OG stepped in, Mitch stepped in, Landry stepped in. So, that attests to, just our team. But no, I was nervous. And, we don't pay you the big bucks to be on the bench for more than half of the second half of a game. We just don't.
Kev.
I wasn't nervous because, to be honest with you, like, it felt like he was a non-factor in this game. The last 3 fouls, I gotta say, were kind of suspect to me. I thought it was bullshit. Because they, every time we fucking play Joel Embiid, it pisses me off because you can't even touch him and they call him bullshit. And to be honest with you, I'm not gonna even fault Cat in this game because they was calling a lot of bullshit. You know what I mean? So that's one thing. And to be honest with you, like, I felt like he didn't have no rhythm in this game for some reason. I don't think he took advantage that Joel Embiid is not 100% and he don't attack. So I still felt we would have won this game because of how we was playing defensively and how Mitch and the guys was playing and hitting shots, hitting big shots at that. Like, OG was not trying to lose this game. So I feel like even though he was a non-factor, I was more worried about the refs helping us lose this game than Karl Anthony Towns, because I felt like I was pretty comfortable.
Knickerbocker
It did concern me a little bit that he was getting into foul trouble. I mean, but I think Kev was correct in the assessment that he was pretty much a non-factor pretty much the entire game. But once we started getting on that run and we were holding them to 13 points in that third quarter, I wasn't too concerned. It did start to bother me that he was still getting those ticky-tack fouls in the fourth, and eventually fouled out, and they were making their run. So that's when my concern level, started to raise up, and I'm starting to go into cardiac Knicks. Yeah, exactly. And but after that, I mean, there are going to be nights where Karl is not going to be a factor. We're just having way too many of those nights where he's not being a factor, and I'm really getting annoyed with the amount of attention that the refs are giving to to him creating offensive fouls. With that being said, Karl has to be more attentive to the fact that he is being targeted for the way he hooks guys, especially on the offensive end. So he really needs to pay attention to that. And when Josh Hart, and I think we addressed this last night, when Josh Hart, calls him out and says that, he has to be smarter, he does, because the referees are paying a closer attention to that kind of thing. And he keeps on, costing the Knicks, flagrant ones and offensive fouls, kills momentums and possessions, costly turnovers, and eventually, and especially in the last couple of weeks, a lot of victories. So, he really needs to pay more closer attention to the position of his body, how he's angling it, and because now everything is an awkward shooting motion with him, but especially when he's trying to drive to the hole and he's trying to push off of guys and push guys out of his way. He needs to be more attentive and alert that they're going to call that. It's not a foregone, it's not a secret anymore. Everyone knows you do it.
I mean, realistically, he doesn't even need to push off. Like, take the fucking contact and throw the ball up. Like, take the contact. Like, you ain't no small dude. They not gonna just drop you. Like, take the contact. Like, because like you said, they're gonna call that shit every time, and it's super annoying as a fan. Like, how many times you gotta get called for the same call? It's not like you're doing different shit. You get called for the same exact thing every fucking game.
Same identical one.
The same exact thing. And it was crazy how they tried to call one on JB today, and I'm like,
Yeah.
That was some bullshit. But I agree with Kev. Like, they give Embiid a lot of bullshit. And I was texting my homeboys throughout the game, and I'm like, is it me? Am I tripping? Am I like biased? Because every time Embiid sets a pick, he's moving. It's a moving fucking pick every time. And he doesn't get called on that at all.
Yeah, nah. I agree. Fingers.
Or that one super charge that Brunson took to the chest and no call.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Yo, he got cracked. I felt like it was a football game. I felt bad for him. I was like, yo, you got cracked.
Yeah,
Survey says
taking the charge from Joel Embiid and not getting the charge call has to be definitely insult to injury. But when Cat got his fourth foul in the first minute, third quarter, like everyone else, I was very concerned. I was very concerned because I was like, King Q2 was good. I was like, oh man,
God.
even though he wasn't having a great game, he still acts as a decoy.
Distraction. Yep.
The decoy. I mean, he still garners so much attention, and I'm like, we might need that kind of gravity to for JB and the other guys to get buckets, but like I said, it was a blessing in disguise because we got a master class in defense from Mitchell Robinson, and we even got a very nasty block from my guy Purdy, and he pointed at son. Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, that shit reminded me of the Kibe Mutombo when he used to go like
he blocked the shot, and on the way running back up the court, he pointed at son. I'm sitting here, my daughter was here, so I have to be PG tea time. I have to be PG tea time. My baby was here. But when that block happened from Hog Purdy, I really in my soul I was yelling. And when I saw him point, that's the shit I like. Yeah, let him know I point. Yeah, I did that. Don't you ever in your life try that shit again when I'm around. But yeah, like I said, Cat going to the bench.
There was a block by Josh Hart where he got caught, jumped in the air, dude tried to bang it, and he still blocked him.
Somebody wake my boy up, man. Hold on.
Tired.
Yo, it was definitely definitely was some worry happening. But once I saw how that defensive energy turned up with him off the court, and it's sad enough, we've seen that happen too many times in these recent games when Cat go to the bench, that the defensive intensity triple folds. You feel me? And that's kind of worrisome. But we ain't gonna pull no fire alarms just yet. You feel me? This was a solid win.
We just gonna say you gotta play smarter.
Yeah.
We gonna echo Josh's sentiment. You have to play smarter.
Facts. So everybody that's here, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Sharing is always caring. If you're new here, make sure you're subscribing. Super chats are open. Hit the super chats up so we can talk about what you want to talk about. That's facts. You know what I mean? So let's talk about my son, Sham Wow. That's the name I'm giving him. You feel me? Sham Wow. You know why? Because he does a little bit of everything. That's what the Sham Wow did. Did a little bit of everything. When you think you've seen his whole entire game, but wait, there's more. My son Sham Wow. Not only did he give us 12 points off the bench tonight, he hit some big shots in some crucial tide-turning moments and a three-pointer that was pretty much a dagger. How impressed are we with Shamet's play tonight, and how happy are we that he's back? Sis, you can start this one off.
I'm gonna say it in his own words. I'm fucking back. I love that shit. Nah, it's good to see. I'm so happy that, this injury didn't, have him take a step back like it did last season. I mean, we know how crucial he is to this offense. And especially now with Mike Brown's system and the spray three, having him out at a corner, makes me feel a little more comfortable, right? Because we know he can drop it. But not only his three, he's penetrating into the basket more this season than we've seen last season. So that shows a little development in his game, which makes me happy. But nah, it's super good to see him. It's super good to see him in the fashion that we're seeing him and having such an impact early on from coming back from an injury. Again, we didn't see JC, but again, I understand why, because Landry had a great game. I think, he played decent defense against Maxey today, especially down at the end. People say that was a foul. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, but all the bullshit they called on us, you got to let us get away with something. So to me, that was soft. It looked like he was trying to foul him. But oh well.
Yeah, they blessed him with a few fouls today. That foul on McBride on Edgecombe.
That was nonsense.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a block, and Knicks is up the court. But it is what it is. Kev, how impressed were you with ShamWow, and how happy are you that he's back?
You know, I'm to the point where I'm not surprised anymore with Sham. You know what I mean? I feel like he does what he's supposed to do. The one thing that scares me is every time he take a pick, I get worried. Every time he take a pick, his shoulder pops out of place. So when I seen him get hit by that pick and he dropped to the ground, I just put my head down, worried like Jesus Christ, man, because I feel like every time that happens, it's when he gets hurt. But other than that, like when he's out there, I'm not concerned. I know I know he's gonna make the shot. Because he always plays with a lot of confidence, and not just offensively, but defensively too. So, I'm not impressed, but at the same time, I'm happy that he's out there. I'm happy that he's healthy, and I just want him to stay that way. Like I want him to find a way to fight over the picks instead of getting cracked. That's what I want him to work on because I feel like we need him because I feel like he's our best, other than Deuce, he's our second best 3-point shooter. You know what I'm saying? So, and when we need him to make those shots, he makes those shots. So, I'm just happy that he's healthy, he's out there, and he's back. Like my man said, I'm back.
No, he said, I'm fucking back.
I'm fucking back. My bad.
Knickerbocker.
It's perfect timing, isn't it? Just at the time that JC kind of falls out of Mike Brown's favor, Landry Shamet comes in, returning from injury, and pretty much picks up exactly where he left off. Playing some crucial moments and contributing in a huge way. So am I glad? Absolutely. I kind of thought, and I think I mentioned in the super chat, in our private chat, I think that, if Deuce is out, then maybe, you bring Clarkson in. If Deuce is not performing, what did Deuce shoot tonight? He shot 3 for 11 from the field, 1 for 8 from 3. I think that would have been a perfect opportunity to probably give additional moments. But I understand Deuce is a much better defender, and he was, putting the clamps down on Edgecombe and on Maxey, at decent times, and so that makes understandable. But am I glad that Landry Shamet's back? You damn right I'm back. I'm glad that he's back. He's motherfucking back because the dude plays with a lot of heart. He hasn't given us any indication that he's ever mailing it in. He's playing with his heart. So if Josh Hart is the heart of the city, Landry Shamet, he might be the heartbeat. I mean, that's just kind of how it is. He's been giving us that kind of effort, every single night and every opportunity he gets.
Yeah, I'm super thrilled ShamWow is back. He started off this season amazingly before he got hurt. We saw what he did in the postseason when he got his rhythm back. He was pretty good. And tonight, just another night showcasing that him off the bench is going to be super important for this team moving forward. We talk about his three-point shooting. We talk about his defense. And he also takes a lot of pressure off of JB having to bring the ball up the court. Like, it's been times where we get the rebound, ShamWow gets the rock, and he pushes the rock up the court. I think these things need to happen more often because, especially in late game situations, because they're looking to get the ball out of JB's hand as soon as possible. Late in games in the fourth quarter, I would, if they're starting to blitz JB on the on the pick and roll, or as soon as he get off half court, you need somebody else that can handle the rock. And ShamWow could be one of those people. Yeah, I mean, we got Deuce, we got ShamWow. Yeah, I mean, those could be those guys to relieve the pressure pause when JB is getting blitzed. And he has the clutch gene too. We've seen it. Yeah, I mean, we've seen it. Big shots and big moments. That's important. Yeah, I mean, so I'm super thrilled to have ShamWow back. I'm super impressed at the way that he played tonight. It was an efficient night. 4 for 9 from the field, 3 for 7 from 3-point range. Yeah, I mean, and the cutting with his movement without the basketball needs to be studied. Like, he's in constant motion. He's always cutting. He's always trying to relocate to be open and being ready to shoot. And I think he got fouled a few times on a few of his missed three-point shots tonight. I think he got fouled a few times that he was getting smacked across the arms when he's going up for his three-point shots. But the refs was on their, as y'all already addressed, the refs was on their bullshit tonight. Fuck Tony Brothers, man. Him and his nasty ass eyebrows. Word. Them eyebrows is nasty. He got Akuma eyebrows. Word. Yeah, but yeah, shout out to my guy ShamWow, man. Yeah. Let them know in Philly. I'm fucking back. Yeah. Yeah, that's my kind of energy right there. Now.
Hold up. My turn.
Oh, yeah, my fault, Fraz. You asleep.
I wasn't asleep. I'm sitting here listening to you. But the one thing that wasn't mentioned, well, maybe it was briefly, but the one thing that I didn't really hear too much mention about Landry Shamet is how he spaces the floor and allows others to operate with more room on the floor. I mean, Shamet's a guy that they have to constantly check because of the fact that he can catch it. He can move off the ball and cut to the basket, like you saw a couple of buckets from him tonight. Also, the three-point shot is his go-to. He can catch him open, hitting clutch threes, but he definitely spaces the floor for us when he's on the floor because they have to have somebody to check him. He definitely impacts scoring. You know what I mean? Like, he has an impact on scoring. He's had that. Remember, he did have that one game where he had that 18-point 6 for 6 game, from 6 for 6 from 3. You know what I mean? So Shamet does definitely have an impact on scoring as well as spacing and rhythm for the Knicks. It's those two things that really make Shamet an invaluable asset that T-Tom touched on earlier. The ability for him to hit the perimeter shot, especially in clutch situations, because you saw it tonight again. move effectively without the ball, and then he just helps maximize the offense. You know, simple as that.
Word. All right. So, you know, after the absolute bludgeoning we gave the Brooklyn Nets, that severely horrendous ass whooping, you know, the biggest belt to ass in Knicks basketball history. You know, I gotta over exaggerate. I got not. It wasn't. That's not even an over exaggeration.
It
Know
really is.
how much I hate the Nets. So every time I mention that ass kicking, I gotta, you know, I gotta present it the way that it should. But after that, that ass kicking, you know, the question was this just that the Nets are just that bad? But after this game, beating a relatively good Sixers team that's finding their stride and finally are back healthy, do it look like we're starting to? How confident are you now that we're starting to right the ship? You know what I mean? How confident are you that we're getting back to winning ways? I don't. Kev, start this one off, man.
I mean, I'm still like in between. Um, because it's only been 2 games, that our defense has been playing well. So I'm still a little concerned, but I feel like if we still play with this same time of energy, same type of energy and consistency, I think we'll be fine, to be honest.
I bet. Knickerbocker.
This win is just a good win. It's definitely a step in the right direction. I'm just not completely sold yet. Like I said last night, I'm not going to forget that the last few weeks happened, and I'm not just going to completely just say that, oh, this is part of the growing pains of a long season. It might be, but until you get out of this and you survive going forward, I'm not going to be thoroughly convinced, especially when you look at what the upcoming schedule looks like. I mean, that schedule heading into the All-Star break is madness. I mean, you're talking about a back-to-back almost every week. We have a Tuesday and a Wednesday game almost every week, and that's see how that goes. Let's win the next one. Let's beat Sacramento on Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Let's beat Toronto on Wednesday. Then they come home and we do what we do and we whoop Portland's ass again. Let's finish the month strong first, and then we can start talking about have we turned the corner? What does this win mean? Because right now, this is just a win that we should have had. We should have had it easily, like we opened the show. This game didn't have to be as close as it was, but it was what it was. And now I have to look at it, realistically and say, you know what? Good game. Not gonna do it again.
Sis.
I mean, I'm a little bit more comfortable with beating Philly than I was Brooklyn for sure. Like I said, today wasn't a perfect game, but there was a lot of good things that I did see. One, defense. Two, really, to me, what was the most important was controlling that pace. To be able to play and have a fast team play at our pace. And really kind of like not be bullied, right? Like Embiid really tried to bully us in the first half, and being able to stand 10 toes down and take that. I mean, it is one game at a time for sure, but I'm more comfortable saying we're headed in the right direction today as opposed to, against Brooklyn. I think we saw a lot of growth from Brooklyn to today. And we just need to continue. And that's it.
Frass. You muted.
This win has a couple of important factors. Number one, we're starting to build momentum with these 2 wins now. The Knicks is getting back to playing like they was early on in the season when they was beating top teams like Cleveland, Boston. It signifies that, we're getting back to where we should have been before this slide. This what, 9 out of 11 losses. You also keep Philly at bay in the standings because I know Philly's like creeping up behind us in the standings as well. I think they was like 1.5, 2.5 back, something like that.
It was one and a half.
Yeah, they're creeping up in the standings behind us. So that helps keep Philly at bay with that win as well. But the momentum has shifted a little bit for the New York Knicks in their favor with these 2 wins, because this is what we need the Knicks to do, to start building momentum, to get back onto a winning streak like we've had the previous few years since we've had Jalen Brunson. We've always had a win streak somewhere around this time, December, January, and we need to get back to that level of basketball again. We're not all the way there yet by any means, but these 2 wins is a very good start. And with the difficult schedule looming in February, now is the time to build up that momentum, start putting wins together, especially against these quality teams in the NBA. So they understand the Knicks are to be feared, and the Knicks can come in and win against the top team.
Yeah, I feel I'm going to be the optimistic guy here, man. I'm going to be that guy. The biggest problem with us in that, awkward, weird space that we was in is that the defense was horrendous. It was horrendous defense. And that's what needed to be fixed or changed. And the defense I saw them play in long spurts of this game was championship level defense. Philly is not to be slept on, especially with a healthy Joel Embiid. That is a very dangerous team. Tyrese Maxey is definitely, in my eyes, a top 10 player in the NBA. Yeah, I mean, healthy Joel Embiid definitely is. Yeah, I mean, when he's healthy, he's definitely top 5. Mm-hmm. And then, even though Paul George is all the way washed up, he's still Paul George. You feel me? He's all the way washed up. It's still Paul George. You still got to show that man some kind of respect. Yeah, I mean, and Edgecombe is going to be a problem. That kid is going to be a phenomenal basketball player down the road, and he's really good now as a rookie. So, they got the likes of Kelly Oubre coming off the bench. Like, they got a really solid team. And defensively, we were really good. We were really good today. What did we get? It was 101. That's how much they had, if I'm not mistaken. 109. 109. Not really a all the way locked down game, but the refs tried to help them out as much as they could. It should have been a lot. They should have scored a lot less, but shout out to Tony Brothers and them trying to show some brotherly love in Philly. But yeah, I'm going to be the optimistic guy. I think this is a big turn for the better. I think we start seeing a more consistent defensive effort moving forward. They play tonight, especially in that third quarter. They played defense like a team that was pissed off. Like they pissed off and they tired of that losing streak. They tired of people talking about they don't have toughness. Tonight was a very physical game. This afternoon was a very physical game. They was letting Philly get away with a lot of stuff, which they have been doing over the last few weeks. But we didn't wilt, we didn't falter. We met the challenge. Yeah, I think our biggest lapse today was the free throw shooting, which kind of let them back in the game. Appreciate you, Lee. Yeah, that was the biggest lapse for me today was the free throw shooting. We missed a shit ton of free throws. We gave away a shit ton of Chick-fil-A sandwiches tonight. Chick-fil-A, I know Chick-fil-A pissed off with the Knicks tonight for sure. If anybody mad at the Knicks, it's Chick-fil-A. You know how much money? You know how much money we cost the motherfuckers tonight? Yeah. But yeah, I think we made a turn for the better. The team is finally fully healthy, which means a lot. And we got a lot of guys that can contribute. And I'm gonna be the optimistic guy and say, we trending in the right direction. Let's go. We're gonna pack some people up. I did look at the schedule after Knickerbocker have said that. And he ain't tell not one lie. There are back-to-backs almost every other Tuesday and Wednesday. That is a fact. That's tough shit. But
it's gonna show what we built on. This is it. This is gonna show what we made of.
Yeah, that's a fact. But yeah.
We can run it down real quick. Look. Tuesday, Sacramento. Wednesday at Toronto. Friday at home in Portland. Sunday at home against Los Angeles. Tuesday at Washington. Wednesday versus Denver. Friday at Detroit. Sunday at Boston. Tuesday again against Indiana. Wednesday again with the Sixers. Thursday. So we got a Tuesday, and then we have the All-Star break, and then we open up the second half at home against Detroit. Houston, at Chicago, at Cleveland, at Milwaukee. It's like, that schedule is a gauntlet. There's muffin parts of this schedule, and I think we're past that. We're going right into the gauntlet of showing who we really are in terms of a team and organization, and are we really truly championship contenders? What say you?
Yeah. But unless you guys got anything else, I hear the curtain call. Nothing else y'all want to. All right. With that being said, shout out to everybody that pulled up tonight, commented, liked, and shared. Yeah, if you didn't do any of those things, do it now. Make sure you subscribe, turn that notification bell on, set it to all. You know what I mean? If you're rocking with the gang, make sure you go cop some merch. The link is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Go get you a Knicks Ish hoodie. This one is on there too. You know what I mean? We got some night, like the graphic says, we got some. Fraz got on the Knicks Ish joint. We got multiple colors, different flavors. You know what I mean? And when the next time we play?
Tuesday.
Yeah, we see you Tuesday. You know what I mean? Fraz.
Hit the outro.
Boom shakalaka! The Knicks are great. These kids and our party just lit. That's the Pearl Lord. We lick Knickerbocker, have a talk to him.